later, it's a worldwide giant. The Newcastle-based computer software company Sage has this week completed moving its 1,000 headquarters staff into a new building on the city's Great Park. Sage now employs more than 8,000 people throughout the world, and last year had a turnover of more than £560 million. Quite something. Keith Akehurst had exclusive access to the company for this special report on a Tyneside success story.
New age building for a high-tech firm. It's not as you might expect on the Manhattan or Hong Kong waterfronts. It's on a greenfield site on the edge of Newcastle. The new £70 million headquarters of computer software giant Sage. This is where 1,000 workers control a business empire which spans the globe. Until last week, they were scattered around the city in 5 separate buildings.
In the old site, I spent most of my life travelling around back and forward to different buildings for meetings. So from that perspective, having everybody in one building is fantastic.
I was awestruck when I first came in, but it's very airy, it's very nice, and there's a lot of money been spent in it, as you can see.
And that lot of money was spent here in the north. Every single supplier came from the region. Sage prides itself in supporting local business, not just in the construction of this building, but into the future as well, so that when Sage grows, they grow with it. 95% of the £6 million yearly running costs are spent with local small firms. The coffee shop is owned by a 25-year-old Gateshead woman who's running her first business. Helen Smith won the contract without knowing she was up against some of the biggest names in coffee.
No, but I do now. No, and I'm actually quite glad that I didn't know that, because it probably would have sent me off and freaked me out a bit, yeah.
Helen started with 3 staff 2 months ago. Now she has 5. She's expanded quicker than Sage did 23 years ago.
It's an absolute dream come true for me that little old me and big old Sage would manage to strike up such a great relationship and get going on it.
Another start-up supported by the software group is on the Gateshead bank of the River Tyne. It's piped up £6 million for the new Sage Music Centre, which will be home to the Northern Symphonia. But the company's biggest commitment to the north is in its policy of buying local. A long-standing supplier is Potts Printers from North Shields. They print instruction booklets and pamphlets. They've trebled staff to 80 and turnover has increased 6-fold in 10 years on the back of the link-up.
I wish there was more companies like that in the northeast. Obviously it's helped us grow as a company as well.
It's in contrast to other large companies who've moved into the north, taken large grants and then folded.
It is disappointing and in fact galling for some of us who've been in the northeast for as long as any of us can remember to see other companies come and go. Our approach has been to invest for the very long term in the region. We have employees who've been with us for 15, some 20 years, and I think that demonstrates the longevity of Sage.
The company has planning permission to expand its headquarters to employ double the current number, and it's all been done without a penny of public money.
Now, the next